about to witness the strength
of coach's knowledge.
Damn, that shit was dope.
Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to look at just doing a quick little recap video for you. So last week I was talking on Instagram stories about the 5 most important factors that you need to address when you're creating a nutrition plan. We got a lot of good feedback here about it, so I'm going to put them all together for anyone that missed any part of it, and you can check it out here on YouTube, and then stay tuned on Instagram during the week this week again. So the 5 factor, guys. Number 1 was your calories in versus your calories out. This is the first thing you need to get right when you're creating a nutrition plan. If you're eating too many calories, it doesn't matter if they're healthy calories, you're not going to be in a deficit, and therefore you're not going to lose weight. Now basically what I mean by that is, let's take for example a person that's eating 2,000 calories. If that person is only burning 1,500 calories, it doesn't matter that these 2,000 are very, very good, very healthy calories. They're taking in more than they're burning off, therefore they're not going to drop any body fat, they're not going to drop any weight. So what you need to do is get yourself into a calorie deficit. Now in that example, you can either increase your calorie expenditure by training a little more, going for a couple extra walks, whatever it might be, or you can decrease your calorie intake in order to get yourself into a deficit. Now once you've figured out that deficit and where you need to be at with your calories, you need to maintain that and monitor that for at least a good full week, and then jump back on the scales, maybe get the measuring tape out again and check your waist. Check those 2 factors, and if you're happy that both your weight and your waist are dropping, then yes, great, you're doing very well. If they're not, you need to either adjust, as I say, your expenditure of calories up by training a little more, a little harder, or getting a few walks in, or bring your calorie intake down a little just by cleaning up around the edges. I would never drop calories too drastically either, guys. Maybe 10% of your calories or 300 calories, whichever one of those is fewer. That's what I would go for. So again, if you look at that example of 2,000 calories per day, 10% of that is 200. That's what I dropped. We'd bring it down to maybe 1,800, still getting in a decent number of meals, and go again from there for the week and see how we get on. Number 2 on the list of factors then, guys, was our macronutrients. Now, for anyone who doesn't know what the macronutrients are, these are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. So an example of protein would be the likes of chicken, an example of carbohydrates, maybe sweet potato or oats, and fats could be something like your healthy oils, nut butters, and avocado, stuff like that. So it's how you break down your calories and divide it out then into these 3 groups is your macros, and what you need to look at next after you get your calories right. So for myself at the moment, I'm not doing a whole pile of training because of my injury, so I'm keeping my fats relatively low and kind of moderate then proteins and carbs. So it's about 40% protein, 40% carbs, and 20% fat. Now that's just one particular style. Loads of different styles work for different people, and I myself will change and do different things depending on my training and depending on my goals, and obviously depending on my injury and stuff like that. So that's the next thing you need to establish, guys. One thing I kind of usually will ask people is how they're sleeping, how their energy levels are when they're training, are they hitting new personal bests and stuff like that. If you've got lots of energy, you're getting a great night's sleep, all that, if you're getting a good pump in the gym, then you probably have more than enough carbs. But if all of those 3 things are lacking, then you might need to say, right, I need to increase my carbs, and we'll take away a bit of fat, or maybe we'll take away a bit of protein, one or the other, and go again, keep your calories the same. You've got your macros in a better split for you, and get another week then done, get back on the scales, get back out the measuring tape and check the waist. After that, guys, factor number 3 was your micronutrients. Now, micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. We've all seen different supplements that contain different vitamins, different minerals, even daily multivits and multiminerals, and they are somewhat beneficial, yes, and I do take one myself, but what I do recommend is to get them, as many of them as you can, from food sources. So the best way to do this, guys, is to have a very varied diet, eat foods of different colours, eat plenty of fruit, plenty of vegetables, and mix up your food from a day-to-day basis. Now again, different people for different reasons will like to have kind of a bit of repetition in their life, whether it's daily repetition or weekly and different things like that. And I'm quite the same, I'm a creature of habit. So it's easy for me to cook 3 of the same meals and have it back to back to back. But then the next day I might cook three of the same meal again, but it'll be different to the previous day. So make sure that you vary things. You're not just always eating chicken, always eating white rice, and always eating, let's say, broccoli. You know, it's going to be the same foods day in, day out. Your body's going to get accustomed to it. You're only going to get the vitamins and minerals from these foods, and you're not going to get anything else from the spectrum. So get chicken in one day, get turkey in another, get some white fish in another. That's just your protein. Instead for carbs, we'll go with some sweet potato, some white potato, some oats, some rice. Then with your fats, we'll get some healthy nut butters, some seeds, some avocado, some oily fish. And then into your vegetables and stuff, which is going to be where most of the actual micronutrients are coming from. We're going to get different coloured vegetables. We're going to go with some green veg, going to go with some peppers in. You can have a whole mixture of colours in your peppers, some red onion, different things like that. Get some carrots in. Into your fruits, we can get some strawberries, some blueberries, some kiwi fruit, different things. Banana is brilliant for post-workout. So a varied diet, guys, is basically the best way to make sure you cover that entire spectrum. Get in different vitamins and minerals, and then in your proteins and stuff, you're getting different amino acids into your body, and everything is covered. On to point number 4 then, guys, which was your meal frequency and meal timing. Now, meal frequency is basically how many times you're eating throughout a day. A lot of people kind of push and say you have to eat every 3 hours, but for someone who has a very, very long day, guys, this can be quite a lot of meals and maybe too much for them to prep and to worry about getting ready. So some people, for example, might be up at, who knows, 5:30 a.m. in the morning. They mightn't get to bed till about 11:30 p.m. at night. That's going to be a lot of meals if they're eating every 3 hours. So frequency isn't overly important. If you have planned to eat every 3 hours and all of a sudden you're stuck in a meeting and you can't eat until hour number 4, that's okay, just eat at hour number 4. If in advance of eating on the 3rd hour you kind of think, right, I'm very, very hungry, I'm going to eat after 2 hours, that's grand, eat after 2 hours. The frequency is not as important as people think. What I do think is a little bit more important though is the timing. Now there's 3 main meals that I'm going to pick out and discuss for timing that I think are most important, starting with number 1, breakfast. The word breakfast comes from the phrase break the fast. So when we go to bed, we're actually fasting. We might be in bed asleep for 6 hours, who knows, messing around, playing on the phone, going through social media for another hour, either side of actually sleeping. So we've been in bed for 7 hours. You might have eaten for 2 hours before you went to bed. That's 9 hours of a fast. You got to get up and break that fast. So breakfast is a very, very important meal in my eyes. The next 2 then that I always address are a pre-workout meal and a post-workout meal. So a pre-workout meal is basically a meal that you're going to have before you train, and this will then fuel your session, give you energy during the session, and make sure it's very, very intense and you get good results, you're lifting nice weight. Your post-workout meal then is obviously the meal that you take directly after training to help you recover. It helps to repair and rebuild the muscle, and if one of your goals is to build lean muscle mass, it's going to help with that. So those 3 meals, guys: breaking the fast in the morning, pre-workout fueling the training session, and post-workout recovering from the training session. The timing of those can be kind of very, very beneficial if you get it right. But other than that, don't worry too much about being very specific and eating every 3 hours. If you eat every 4 hours, every 2 hours, it doesn't matter. Do what suits you. Get those 3 meals in, and if you only want maybe 1 more meal, great. If you want 2 more meals, great. But just once the macros are right, once the calories are right, the timing isn't as important. And then the last point, guys, point number 5 in our top 5 factors was supplements. Now, obviously, a lot of people out there in the supplement industry would be kind of saying, no, this is number 1. But unfortunately not, guys. There is no magic pills or powders out there. If there was, we'd all be taking them. We'd all be getting amazing results. Supplements will not do the hard work for you. You have to do the hard work yourself. Nothing works unless you work. So, as I say, start by getting your calories right. Once your calories are right, look at your macronutrients. Once your macronutrients are right, make sure you're on a varied diet and you're getting a load of good micros. Then start getting the meal frequency and timing and all that right. Timing around your training, timing around your waking, your sleeping, different things like that. And then after that, yes, you can add in a few supplements here and there that are going to give you that little bit of a boost, but they won't do the hard work for you. So some of the main supplements that I was recommending last week, guys, over on Instagram were, during training, a nice quick simple mix. I throw into 1 jug, I throw a scoop of BCAAs, branch chain amino acids, a scoop of L-glutamine, and a scoop of creatine hydrochloride. These 3, guys, are going to help with muscle repair and recovery. They're going to help with the immune system and also digestive system through the L-glutamine, and they're going to help with building strength and lean muscle mass from the creatine. They're all very well researched. You can mix them all in together in with water, and it will actually help you get more water back because you get lovely flavoured BCAAs and flavoured glutamine and so on. So get those 3 in and you're good to go, you're good to train, and you recover much quicker. The other one main supplement that quite a lot of people take out there, guys, is whey protein isolate. Now, whey protein is very safe, again, very well researched, so you can add it to your diet, absolutely no problem. It's a fast acting protein, so it'll digest very quickly and very easily, but this doesn't mean that you can only take it at specific times. You can take it before bed if you really want to, it doesn't matter. But the most common time, I suppose, really for whey protein isolate is directly post-workout, again, to help that repair and recovery. You can add protein to certain meals to improve the flavour. So there's very nice flavours out there, chocolate brownie flavours, chocolate mint, different things. I'm a pure chocolate man, so it's always some variation of chocolate that I'll go with. Chocolate protein into a bowl of cooked oats is one of the nicest meals I'd have most days. And it's a great way then of increasing your protein content. So again, we discussed earlier the breakdown of macronutrients and whether you want a lot of protein, carbs, fats and so on. If you struggle to get protein in, if you don't really like eating a lot of chicken or steak or fish or whatever, different protein sources from animal foods, get some supplements in there to boost up that protein. So that's our top main 5 factors, guys. If you've got any follow-on questions from them, do please get in touch. You can contact me here, of course, through YouTube or else through any of my social media handles. They're all at Coaches Fitness. So any follow-on questions, yes, get in touch. And obviously any suggestions for further videos or anything like that you want to get in touch with me about, please feel free, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Damn, that shit was dope.